Welcome to the Stab Comedy Theater. It's time for Dear Abby WTF. Please welcome on stage already your host, Nicole and Jesse.
Hi, everyone. I need a minute to get acclimated.
I'm just going to keep my eyes closed for as long as possible.
Okay, sounds...
Then it'll happen.
I don't know how you're going to read up one of the letters, but...
I memorized all 4 of them. I don't know what you did today.
Took care of my dying mother.
Oh. Well, I don't have to worry about that anymore.
Dead Moms Club. Anyway.
Welcome to the Dead Mom Club. It sucks here.
So I'm actually working out a couple of new jokes during our banter, because what else am I going to do? So my mother has pancreatic cancer. It's getting kind of close to the end. It's also kind of hard because my mom is also not nice a lot of the time, and so I'm kind of like that meme of the person like dumping the person in the wheelchair off a cliff, because that's how I feel.
Yeah, you're going to be like, look, the doctor said 3 to 6 months. It's been 7.
And then, so my parents are both extremely religious and extremely Catholic. Actually, my mom's Buddhist. I don't know why she's the way she is, but anyway. So they're really against drugs, and so I partake in edibles because I'm stressed a lot. And so my mom has a lot of pain and a lot of nausea, and she can't eat, so I got her on edibles, and it's helping a lot, which, you know, is great, a little more holistic than taking lots of pain meds. But I guess she went to chemo, and like a bunch of her edibles fell out, and she was mortified.
Yeah.
And that's how I found out that weed makes my mom paranoid. Okay.
What was the movie where they had 50-50? Did you ever see that one?
I like that movie.
Yeah, it's such a great movie. Yeah. But remember when they introduced him to we're all high.
Yes.
Yeah, that's a great movie. What else? I've watched a ton of movies.
I have not so much, but I've been binging My Big Fat Fabulous Life, which is actually a lot better than I thought it would be.
Brief me on that. I don't know anything about it.
So it's a woman with PCOS who she says she used to be kind of a mean girl when she was younger because she was really skinny and she was into dance, and then she got PCOS and gained like 200 pounds. And so it's about her being an activist and, you know, trying to bring some good. She started a charity called No Body Shaming, No BS, which is really cool. Mm-hmm. And she's really honest about her journey. Like, you know, she's trying to diet and exercise, and her A1C goes up by like 0.5 points. And, you know, it's the struggle of, I'm sure we've all had, you know, body image issues and all that. So it's refreshing to watch someone be so honest about it on TV.
Okay.
So, yeah.
All right. What is that on?
It's on TLC.
Okay. That's like a regular channel.
It is. And my favorite 90 Day Fiancé is on that.
Do you have to subscribe to something to get TLC?
I have Hulu with live TV, so I don't know.
Do you remember like when we all thought we were so clever 4 years ago saying, I'm ditching cable, forget all this, and like we have like the equivalent in spending and...
I literally cannot afford any more streaming services. It's getting absurd at this point.
Yeah, I was doing the thing where during, I think it was last year during the baseball playoffs, I was just making up email addresses and doing the free 7 days of FUBU. And I just like kept, and then I forgot about one of them, and then like once a month, like $95. $95 like for 6 months. Like that's... But the last one, and I couldn't, like I didn't have the credit card. Like I lost the physical credit card, so I didn't know. So I had to ask for another credit card from the bank so that I could call them. But I didn't even need it because like they figured it out. But
by figured it out, do you mean like you're using Apple Pay now, or because we all know you hate people with Androids?
Does anybody here have an Android? No. How? Oh, wow.
He always tells me how much he hates the green bubbles.
I know. I don't mind. I don't hate the Android, Chaz. But okay, look. But if Chaz had been in comedy less than me, I would have just ripped him right now. But I respect my comedy elders, so I won't. I'll just talk shit afterwards. There's another Android user right behind you.
She's right behind you.
Yours does what?
Oh,
you got that one?
That is cool. How do you like it? What else can it do?
Put it back in your pocket.
Ooh.
You don't have to like prop it up like an iPhone because it falls over. You pull it.
That is nice.
Mm.
I'm kind of over Apple Maps. Apple Maps is the shittiest thing ever if anyone has ever used it.
No, but wait, can I segue since we're talking about cell phones?
You're gonna do it whether I let you or not, so just go ahead.
Okay, we watched BlackBerry last night, the BlackBerry movie. There's a movie about the BlackBerry phone. Do you remember Blackberries?
I do, but when did this movie come out?
I don't know, but it was really good. And what was it on? Was it on the street? Did we have to pay for it? Did I rent it?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, we rented it, but it's so good. I can't tell you any of the actors' names that are in it because I'm not that good at that. But and I watched Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
And it was great. It was great. I think you'd love it. You should go see it. You need a movie in your life.
I do.
Yeah, you should go see it. What else? What else is new with you?
I do need to leave the house because I moved back in with my parents to take care of my mom. And I also started talking to a guy I dated in high school, so it's like a Hallmark movie, and it makes me cringe so hard.
Wait, does he live on the street so like you would
No.
see him jogging in his gray sweats every morning?
No, thank God.
Because that would have been great. That would have been epic if like you moved back home for the holiday to help your mom, and he was in visiting like his grandmother or something, and he was jogging every day.
Well, his parents do live in Elk Grove, but yeah.
And
No.
how's that going? Is that working out?
I would never date someone on the same street as me, honestly. I could never get rid of them. That's too close.
Yeah. Then they'd see everywhere you went too, and like how long you've been gone, or you would.
Some of the best people I've dated have lived in other states, actually. I think like the more the distance, the better it works for me.
Okay. All right. So it's going good then.
I mean, I'm sorry. I have a dissociative disorder, and I'm like totally like emotionally conked out. I like was crying earlier. It's all good. It came out. I'm just devoid of emotions now. So
Mhm. Where do you prefer? Where's your preferred crying spot? Mine's the car.
car. Actually, I do schedule cry times to and from work because I live in Elk Grove and I work in Davis. So
Okay,
those
what's that? A 30-minute drive?
dude, it can be up to an hour and a half.
What?
I mean, I'll cry just because of that.
Yeah, that's plenty of reason to cry.
Yeah. But bathroom, I think, because
Yeah.
it locks. I can turn the fan on so no one can hear me sobbing.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay, and then if you come out with red eyes, they're just like, wow, that must have been some effort, like in there.
Well, now my mom has red eyes too. So anyway.
Oh.
Should,
Should we? I'm looking at the time. Should we bring up our guests?
I think we should.
Okay.
Before I talk more about my dying mom.
Yeah,
Anyway.
Yeah. Let's get off of mothers.
Okay, so let's bring up our guest, Chaz Hawkins, and is it McCoon, Holly? Holly Mullen. You told me it was McCoon.
I did not.
No wonder I couldn't find her. It's in a text.
Whichever seat
Yeah,
you
just-
want.
Thanks for being on, guys.
What's going on, Chaz? Holly? How are you guys?
Good.
Are you guys familiar with the Dear Abby column?
Oh yeah.
Yeah?
100%. So I grew up really sheltered in Montana, but
Okay.
we got the daily newspaper because I'm not as young as I look. And it like the comic section.
Yeah.
So I'd read that, and then in the back of the comic section was like the word jumble, and then the Dear Abby column. I was definitely not allowed to read the Dear Abby column.
You weren't allowed
But
to?
I
Ooh.
would, because it was like the most salacious thing I had access to.
All
And
right.
so I would be like pretending to do the word Scrabble. And I'd get in a lot of trouble if I got caught, but I learned a lot of things.
All
about
right. Chaz, you
life.
don't remember Dear Abby?
I
Not in
like
your household?
I've heard about it, but never. I mean, that name Abby is not something didn't want to read about.
But the picture was so intriguing. She was like, right? It's like the longest neck. It's just exactly what it looked like.
Chaz, which name would make you read?
Which name?
Yeah.
Dear.
Yeah, Dear LeBron.
Oh. Like an advice column to Dear LeBron. Dear LeBron.
Yeah, or like Dear Chaz. It's like, holy shit, who's writing stuff about me? But I don't know. Just Abby. you know, I don't.
You can just say it's.
I don't
want
to talk shits about that. Talk shit. They matter, but I just.
Yeah, Abby's matter. Do you think the advice column has like advice columns aren't a thing anymore because like everyone just gives their opinion now. Like no one is asking for advice anymore. They're just saying, right?
Right. Like, well, you could probably just like write any of these in like a YouTube comment section and get as good of advice back as some of this stuff. So.
Yeah. Are you guys YouTube commenters? Chaz, do you ever feel the need to leave a comment on a YouTube video?
Sometimes I will go to write a comment and then I realize like I'm not signed in and I'm like, nah, I'm not. I thank you, God. You know, I don't.
Yeah, you don't realize like what device you're on. I do that all the time. Like I'm like.
It's like connected to Google, so everybody.
You know what?
You don't have a
I'm
choice. Everybody
married,
has a
and
Google
anytime
account.
something doesn't work, I'm just like, just that really sad.
Does it work? And it works? Like,
Oh yeah, he like is much more technically inclined, so he fixes all the things.
Right on.
So
Does he know all the
probably-
passwords?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, I think he knows all my passwords.
How are you about like password resets? Because I get anxiety like as soon as I start getting the notice like your password's about to expire.
That is stressful. You do like you're like, well, it wasn't a 1 and then an exclamation point, so now it's a 2 and an exclamation point.
That's funny because I work in a health system and I've had the same password to get into patients' personal information since 2007.
You haven't had to reset it?
Nope.
Wow.
And where do you work exactly?
There's been
Open
a
enrollment's
breach.
almost over.
What's your username? Is that the same too?
Yes, I never got married. Anyway. But you know what's funny? It actually takes so long to change your name through our system. People have gotten married and divorced before the name change takes effect. But anywho.
Right on. Chaz, have you ever received any really bad advice?
Yeah. I mean, like, you just mean like in life or?
Yeah, like just or how about like with a joke where you're like, hey, do you think this will work? And somebody's like, you should try it like this, and you're like, yeah, I'm gonna. And then you went and tried it, and it was like, whoa, that didn't work.
Well, like what happened to me? It was like a joke that I thought it's just like an easy joke to come by. Like it's not like it takes a lot of thought, but I just felt like, oh, this is gonna work. So I told one of my best friends, and then he said it's not gonna work at all. Like, don't even.
Wait, is your best friend a comic or a
my
normie?
best friend's a comic, yeah.
Yeah.
And he was like, it's not gonna work. And so then I went up there, and it's like it's like one of my, I don't know if it's one of my best jokes now, but it got me by.
Chaz,
I was like,
I hope I'm not making a mistake right now. But don't you have a joke about you don't have to watch Friends? Like you got a new girlfriend, now you don't have to pretend to like Friends.
Yeah, but I'm married, so I don't have to think about
it.
Okay.
But what was the joke?
The joke is that I think our marriage is good because I don't have to watch Friends. So it's like a whole thing. I have a black wife, and the relationship I feel like is great for her because I don't ask her any stupid ass black hair questions. And for me, the relationship is great because I don't have to act like I like the show Friends. And it's like I do still watch Friends, but I watch it late at night to help me fall asleep. I've been calling that shit white noise. Like that's that.
I have a Caucasian lady friend, and I told her about that joke. She's like, "That's not funny." I'm like, "It's hilarious."
Neither is Friends. Sorry. Anyway.
Oh.
Yeah,
I like Friends.
Sorry.
Yeah.
I'm like a pumpkin spice joke away from like being having Taylor Swift put a hit out on me.
Well, her boyfriend. It's not her. You gotta worry about her boyfriend now.
Yeah.
Holly, how are you with giving or receiving advice?
I would take a page out of Chandler Bing's playbook and say, I'm bad at the advice. Can I interest you in a sarcastic comment?
All right. Okay, well, let's jump into these letters. So we pulled some letters today, and I think we've got some doozies. Nicole, do you know when your letters are from?
I do not, but it was sometime before like 1968.
Okay, cool. Audience members, are you guys familiar with Dear Abby? It's her niece, right? It's not her anymore. It's her niece. Is it? Oh. Okay, so you still read it? Okay. All right. What about
There's
you?
still a
What about you guys? You guys are like, we're here for the comedy show. Pretty much. Okay. All right. Okay. Well, let's jump into these letters. I don't know if you guys had time to go over them beforehand because there will be a test. No, I'm just kidding. There's not a test. But if there was a letter in particular you wanted to read, that's fine. But we can go in order. Does anybody want to read the first letter? I could read it. All right, I'll read it. Oh, good. It's a short one. Okay, cool. All right. Letter number 1. Dear Abby, what do you think of a man who keeps you on the string for 6 years? I've taken 4 blood tests and we've had the marriage license for so long, I'm not even sure if it's still good. Every time we set a date, he backs out of it. Now he wants me to take another blood test and I don't know what to tell him. There is no sense in another blood test if he isn't going to marry me. Please tell me what to do. Signed, Bevs. Abby's advice. Dear Bevs, I'd give my blood to the Red Cross and find myself another fella.
Can I ask a question?
By all means.
I know I'm like really sheltered, so I probably just don't. What is the blood for? Is
Dude,
this like
I didn't know that there was a blood
STD
test
situation?
either. Okay, this must be
HIV?
something from the 60s. Let's ask the medical expert.
So I know at least historically part of it was, so you know how dogs get inbred? Part of it is to make sure none of the genes are too much alike, and also partially for things like Tay-Sachs, where, you know, certain ethnic groups are more prone to certain horrible, horrible diseases, and yeah.
But why would you need it any more than one?
Because this guy, okay, here's the thing. So the first 2 letters, I have a suspicion that the guy might actually not be into women, but it was back in the day, so you kind of just, you know,
Right.
yeah.
Well, you got all that from just this paragraph?
Well, anytime a man doesn't want to marry you, it's because he's gay. Yeah,
I've had 5 proposals. Everybody else in the world is gay.
He's like, I know the blood test says this, but damn it, you just look so much like me.
I just want to wear all your outfits. Holly, do you think these people ever got married?
No. I just like that Abby gave the least amount of effort to reassure this woman. You know, she wasn't even like, here's how you could, you know, have a good conversation or set some boundaries. No, she was just like, here's a fun little cutesy way of being like, forget the last 6 years of your life. Donate your blood to the Red Cross.
This is 1968. I don't think boundaries had been invented yet.
No, that's a good point. That's a good point.
And to be fair, she kind of answers her own question. There is no sense in another blood test if he isn't going to marry me. I mean, girl, you said it.
How did blood tests used to work? But how did marriage license used to work? Because it says we've had the marriage license for so long. I'm not even sure it's still
because
good.
you get a marriage license from the court, but
that?
It's not until like you sign it with an officiant and your witnesses, and then take it back to the courthouse that it actually becomes. Yeah.
Like till death, right? Is
No.
that...
No, you're doing marriage wrong. That's not right.
I think they issue it, and you have X amount of time to get it signed by all the parties.
But so I don't know. It's like semantics, but it's just like I don't call the DMV application my driver's license.
No, but it's a marriage license. You go to the courthouse, you get a marriage license, and then it's not like done until you finish the process and resubmit it. But
okay,
it's still
okay.
I thought you were married.
Huh?
I thought you were married.
He might not be.
It's been 6 years and we've only taken 3 blood tests.
Oh man.
Interesting.
That makes more sense because you can.
So if you had
know,
syphilis, you couldn't get
that could
married?
change.
It just made you
Okay, wait. I totally lost my train of thought for a second. Coming
Syphilis.
back. Yes. Okay. So actually, you know how I'm sure you know because you just had a baby. You know they give babies erythromycin drops in their eyes at birth because so many women have diseases they don't know about. It's easier just to give every kid it than try to test everybody and have kids come up blind and all that. So anyway, I don't know why I said that. It wasn't funny at all.
It's informative.
It's
We need to
educational.
know that.
Aw. Anyway,
we don't think these people ever got married?
No.
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 No?
No.
But I do think she took several more blood tests.
Do you think she eventually just married? Do you think she just married the next guy that came along?
That would be a cute Hallmark movie, actually.
It's Hallmark movie season. It really is.
Mm,
All right. Should we move on to letter number 2?
Sure.
All right. Does anybody want to read that one?
I'll do it.
All right.
All right. Dear Abby, after going with Ray for 12 years, he finally took out a license to get married. We are living together, but he never seems to get around to having a religious ceremony. I don't care for this living in sin. And until we have a religious ceremony, that's what I feel like we are doing. I'm afraid he's stalling the religious ceremony until the license expires. What should I do? Signed, Pearl. Dear Pearl, you could expire before the license does. Move out and live alone until he makes good on his promise.
Did anyone else think when they saw Pearl about the movie Pearl? Because that's what I did.
Yeah.
No, I thought about, wasn't there a character on Hee Haw named Pearl who wore the funny hat?
I think you're the oldest one on the stage. You tell us.
Sir, help me. Yeah, Minnie Pearl. Yeah, Minnie Pearl. She wore the hat and it still had the price tag on it. Yeah.
Sure.
I've heard of that.
All right.
My grandpa told me about that. I also like though that this also was a 2-sentence. Oh no, the first one was a 1 sentence. This was a 2-sentence response from Abby. Like this person, this is her career. Like they're paying her to write this advice column, and she can't be bothered to say more than just like,
Yeah, she's just
move
like,
out.
Well, she's getting paid
Live alone.
I think she's getting paid by the letter, not by the response, not by the length of the letter.
Oh,
Like,
she's
it's
just,
like
No,
two.
just
she's
put
just
some
telling
effort
everybody
in.
to break up. It's like,
Yeah.
Dear Abby, I want to get out of this relationship.
So
Please tell me to get out of this
if she's
relationship.
been going with Ray for 12 years, how old do you think she is? Do you think she's like late 20s? Like, do you think they've been dating since? I think they've been dating since high school. Like,
I would say getting close to 30, which then, you were just a disaster of a person if you weren't married as a woman, which is actually why I'm impressed that Abby said for both to break up, which is why I picked both letters.
okay,
Well, that's probably why I wasn't allowed to read her as a kid.
because she encouraged people to just.
Oh, you don't need no man.
Yeah.
My parents are like, you do. Don't
Yeah.
read that. No, I'm just kidding. They would have agreed though with this. We don't care for this living in sin. This is not okay. I like how she's been like part of this for 12 years, but
Yeah.
she's still like, he's making me live in sin.
Right. Well, I don't think did they live together the whole 12 years? We're living. I think the living together is more recent. But yeah, she's still living in sin,
Mhm.
and I'm sure they're sinning all over the place. Living room, bedroom.
What if Ray has another family?
What if
Ooh.
Ray is the same guy from the blood tests?
What if they're
Right.
two different women?
Yeah, two different women, Bevs and Pearl. He has a type.
What was the guy's name?
Old
of the,
women. They're old now. They weren't then.
Or dead. Sorry.
Oh, the guy wasn't named in the first letter.
What do you think his name would be?
She doesn't know his name.
It's the first letter is probably Raymond or something like that.
I was gonna say Cliff or something douchey like that.
Cliff.
I've had bad luck with some Michaels. Yeah.
I felt like there's such a story there. You're like, Michael, we know who I'm
I
talking
know,
about.
she said it so like Michael, not Mike. It was Michael. All right, are we done with Ray? Do you think they ever got
Well,
married?
Pearl is.
Yeah.
I think we should be too.
All right, let's move on to letter number 3. Who wants to read number 3? We have Chaz and Nicole are left to read.
I don't mind. I can read it. Or
Sure.
All right. Dear Abby, you printed a letter from a teenage girl who was embarrassed to shower in the nude. Maybe I shouldn't have read this one.
I set you up.
You have a future as an erotica ebook reader.
All right. So a girl was embarrassed.
We have a sketch artist drawing this out.
Tell me on the doll.
Show me on the doll.
All right. So she's she's embarrassed to shower in the nude with 39 other girls after gym class. She said her mother thought she should have more privacy, and you sided with the girl and her mother. Abby, it is a safe assumption that exaggerated feelings are a cover-up for opposite feelings, which shame a person into burying these guilty feelings deeply in their subconscious. The better to kid themselves. Actually, the girl enjoys the sight of these naked bodies. Again, I shouldn't be reading this one. And she has erotic feelings. I'm gonna jump into this and get I'm gonna be reading this good.
Yeah. Feel free to ad lib.
Yeah, I wrote my own script. She has erotic feelings that shock her into repression. If I were the mother, I would look for other indications of latent homosexuality. The mother may have brought on this condition by implanting feelings of shame in relation 1.
Oh, I think it was supposed to be 2. In relation 2.
Oh, in relation in relation to naked bodies, because she herself is a homosexual and is transferring this condition to her daughter. Both need treatment. So this is Abby's response.
Oh, you know what? This was actually signed doctor in San Francisco. This was a doctor. This was a doctor in San Francisco. I left off that important part.
Yeah.
So signed doctor in San Francisco.
Signed doctor in San Francisco.
Yeah.
Dear doctor, yes, you could be right. However, your reasoning might equally lead to the assumption that you are preoccupied with homosexuality because you are suffering from a similar problem and have transferred your guilt to this girl and her mother. Of course, they could be normal, and so could you. Well, I don't know about that's questionable whether she should write that. They could be normal, and so could you. But I would never flatly state simply because a teenage girl objected to public showering and her mother supported her and her objection that they both need treatment.
This is like, you're gay. No, you're gay.
No, I don't know. The answer is basically, I know you are, but what am I? Chaz, let's talk about how nervous that letter made you.
I mean, it started out bad, you know. It's like it's just like yeah.
Teenage girls showering, 29 of them.
39.
39 of them.
Who would not be embarrassed?
Who's counting them?
What type of shower is that? That's so many. Yeah, that's so many people.
That's like a prison shower, God.
Right? That's the
Old school, high school.
Yeah,
Oh.
but there's like also a reason why they just don't do that anymore.
And
now they're like, just go to math class, be sweaty.
Yeah, and it's like round up. You sound crazy because you said 39.
Well, she's
There's
the
either
boy.
one more person there or one less person there, but give it a.
I never showered in high school. Like at the
all?
Gym. No.
Okay.
Like in gym class or whatever. I never showered. Was that?
I did band, so I didn't have to shower because I was then and have always been flat-chested, and I didn't want people to point it out.
Mm-hmm.
I showered at home, and I was homeschooled, and so usually there were not other girls.
There wasn't
With
39
me.
of them.
Yeah.
No, not. I mean, I would imagine friends at times. I will not say how clothed they were.
It makes me think of like the count from Sesame Street, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Anybody? Anybody? Okay.
And then she's like, I'm uncomfortable. And they're like, we're uncomfortable.
Yeah.
You discounted us.
So there was 40, but then she
was
left.
40.
So there was
Well,
so
she
then there
was
was
40.
39 because she left.
39 bottles of beer on the wall.
I don't think she was odd for being like, I don't love this.
What would your advice have been to this doctor in San Francisco who is obviously projecting?
You're going to hate the 80s.
Yeah, this letter's from, I think, 67. Yeah, 1967.
I honestly feel like Abby's advice, while a little dated in the fact that she called it
Said no
suffering
more.
is from a similar problem, it was still like a lot more progressive than
Yeah.
the coming in letter. She was like, I no.
What do you think happened to this teenager? What do you think became of her? You think she's okay?
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's probably a gender health doctor.
What about the mom? Do you think the mom was single or married? Well, they were all married. Like, there wasn't no single moms back then.
Well, maybe the dad died.
Yeah.
Oh, those widowers. Yeah.
It's just so crazy to. I mean, clearly this person's not a doctor. Well, you know, the person that wrote it, but then it's just like, it's not even about, like, they don't really have a question for Abby. They just tell her, the way you answered, you shouldn't answer that way.
That's
Like,
that's the best. Like when you're in like a Q&A
Yeah.
and somebody like raises their hand, they're like, well, it's not really so much a question as much as one time I did it, and you're like, oh god,
Yeah.
we're gonna be here
like
so
like
long.
like while I was reading it, at first I thought it could be a letter from one of the girls that was in the shower that just like, it's just because I'm so hot.
Or maybe she wouldn't feel weird if she didn't get so close to us. Or something. Sorry.
Well, I mentioned it was a woman who wrote it.
Yeah,
But
I
that's
did
a good
too.
point.
I had pictured it as a woman.
I thought it was a guy.
That is true.
Why? Because women couldn't write letters? No, I get it. I get it.
It's hard to write a doctor's note if you can't write.
All right. Should we go on to our last letter?
Yeah.
Sure.
Are we done with this one? And the 39 bodies?
Yes.
The 39 teenage bodies?
I wonder if the daughter ever knew her mom wrote a letter to Dear Abby about that.
She probably just read this one in the back of the comic section and was like, 39? I have gym class with 39.
That's weird.
Just like it's all coming together.
All right, Nicole, this one's you.
Letter 4. Dear Abby, we are members of a national women's organization and are proud of our achievements, as you should be. Our problem is one of our members. She is capable and talented, but she drinks too many cocktails before our meetings. At our regular meetings, we are simply disgusted, but when we have guest speakers, we are disgusted and embarrassed. At our last meeting, she did more talking than the guest speaker. She didn't even wait for the question and answer. She interrupted him and got into long-winded arguments with her guest trying to show him up. It was awful. This is a very touchy situation. No one wants to volunteer to tell a grown woman with children in college that she should better mend her ways. How should we tactfully handle this as a member? Dear member, a group of the girls' best friends should tell her of the club's reactions. If that doesn't work, an official reprimand should follow, and if it doesn't do the job, her membership should be written off. What's the reprimand? Somebody tell me what it should be.
I think like a slap on the wrist, or like maybe a spanking, like in the club.
I
Like,
was gonna say throw her martini in her face or something.
this
Make it
girl
exciting.
sounds like a good time. I don't know why they want to kick her out. Well, okay, all right. Let's go to the reprimand. Holly, how would you reprimand? 1967. You're the president of this club. How are you gonna reprimand this member?
I think she does like the dish duty or something. Like she's not even allowed to be like in the group luncheon anymore. She's like the serving.
Wait, or am I approaching this wrong? Like maybe you don't want to reprimand her. Like where do you stand on this? Are you like? Because to me, this girl sounds like a good time.
Yeah, I
don't
can't
know.
imagine how stuffy of events these ladies are putting on. It's,
I was wondering about that too.
well, how embarrassing. In front of the men?
Okay, how would you reprimand her if you had to reprimand her? What do you think would be a good reprimandation?
Like actually or in the 60s?
60s.
Oh, yeah. Well, I think getting like too many women to crowd around her and be like, we all feel very embarrassed when you are so salacious with your drinking and such. And then I think they make her do dishes instead of being with the women.
Aw.
Wow.
I thought we were answering like what I think they're
Yeah, yeah.
not like what I think is an appropriate response.
Okay, what do you think would be an appropriate response?
I think like the leader of this group should pull her aside privately and be like, "Hey, I've noticed that you are drinking quite a bit in our meetings, and I feel that it becomes disruptive when you interrupt, and perhaps we can come up with a plan together to drink less." I don't know.
I wonder if she doesn't drink a lot, she just can't hold her liquor. Like,
Yeah.
To be fair, I'm assuming all these women are white, and they're probably pretty insufferable too. I mean, I might also get tanked.
What do you think they're drinking? She said cocktails, but
Yeah, I like cosmopolitans.
Yeah.
I'm hoping she's just like getting vodka martinis,
Yeah.
dry, straight up, and just downing them. That's my
Nice.
hope. I also hope they had an intervention for her at some point too.
I
I don't think they did that.
Yeah.
you don't think so? Chaz, do you think she really had a drinking problem, or she was just like kind of woo?
Yeah, I think.
Do you
she
think
was,
like she's not like they're just uptight?
I think it's a little bit of both. I think it might be one of those people that like they never get to drink, so then it's like whenever they drink, they have a little bit, and then they act like, oh my god, I'm so crazy, and blah blah blah, because their husband's like, hey, shut the fuck up all the time.
That's I was gonna go down that road. I was like, maybe her home life is so miserable that when she gets around like all of her club members, she's like, I'm gonna let loose because I gotta go home to what was the guy's name in the first letter? Ray. I gotta go home to Ray, and he's no fun, and we're not
She was at a
married.
blood test.
I gotta go home to Ray and live in sin.
What do you imagine? I imagine she's like the pastor's wife or something in this letter. They have like a dry household.
Oh.
I thought her kids were college students.
No, so they said that
She has
she's
grown
capable.
kids. I love that that little insert of like a grown woman with children in college, which makes it like so she can handle her business because she has raised children. Like it's just so
In
like
college.
such a like dated like
Yeah.
way to like validate how established a
It's not
woman
like
is.
children at the reformatory. It's like children are in college.
Mm-hmm.
And they're probably as drunk as she is.
No, they were high. 60, 68, 67. They were in college. Yeah. It's okay.
We hope you guys had fun. Bye.
Should we talk about
So.
that? Okay, they're gone. That was weird. No. Do you think we offended them?
What do you think pushed them over the edge?
I think they came
I think
here
it was
'cause they were
Holly.
like we.
It was obviously Holly.
I think they're like big Dear Abby fans, and they came here to be like, let's continue this and give people advice. And they thought they'd probably get to give us advice, and we probably look like we could use some. And then we were like, no, we're gonna talk about how we'd be better at this.
What advice would you give me?
What's your question?
I don't know.
My advice would be probably don't take advice from
Comics.
30-year-old white women with children who've left them on a Saturday night at 10:50 to come do this.
At least you're not drunk off cocktails.
You don't know.
Do we need to sit you down?
I'm always sitting.
Should we start plugging our shows?
Sure.
All right.
Who's starting?
Well, Nicole, why don't you start?
okay, I do this every month. I did the Stab show last week. Chad Bogard and I are bringing Dr. Dunning and Mr. Kruger back at some point. Thanks. Like I said, my mom's dying, so I don't really have a whole lot going on right now. Oh, but through my job, I'm actually setting up a job skills fair for the community and also an internship program for ambulatory care employees at X Health System. So I'm really excited about that to get some good work done for the community. Thank you.
Awesome. And where can I find you on the socials?
Oh, I am on everything at Nicole is just okay.
Awesome.
I'm sure they would agree with that statement. Anyway, Holly, what's up?
All right, I'm in a roast battle on Tuesday at the Callback Bar in Punchline,
Who are you
Sacramento.
battling?
Karen Fragoso. She's a new comic.
Oh, she's
So am I.
209, right?
Yeah.
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got her.
Yeah,
you got
you
her.
got
Or she might stab. She might stab you though. I don't know.
Right. And then Wednesday I'm doing the By All Means comedy competition at Laughs Unlimited.
Wow.
And then December 6th, I am one of the openers for Johnny Taylor's show at the Callback Bar. So super
Nice.
excited
I'm
about
on that show.
Yeah.
Are we
Yeah.
on another show?
Are we on another show?
Are you on Fox and Goose?
Yeah. The 8th.
That was the same week.
Fox and Goose. Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
December
Cool.
8th.
Cool.
That's right.
Awesome. And you're on socials.
Holly McMullen Laughs. Instagram, Facebook, Threads.
Is this your first roast battle?
No, I did one at the Sesh.
What's your record?
Oh, 1-0.
So
But
she already beat somebody.
I already beat somebody.
Who'd you beat?
Giovanni Valencia.
We're counting that. You're gonna count
Yeah,
that?
I mean, I beat him.
Well, you know what? I heard you beat him pretty soundly.
Yeah, I heard he was pretty bummed out the rest of that night.
I saw him later that night, and he was kind of he was pretty quiet, and his friends were just constantly reminding him how badly you beat him, which is what guys do.
I realize now, writing jokes for Karen, how low hanging fruit Gio was, because I had plenty for him, and for her, I'm like, oh, this is a little harder.
He's still roasting him right now.
She's still roasting him right now.
Like I said, got more in the tank.
Oh man! All right, well, good luck on Tuesday night.
Thank you.
Yeah, Chaz, what's going on with you, man?
Me, I have I'm featuring at Punchline on the 29th end of this
Ooh.
month.
For who? You don't know.
Yeah, the man without a name.
For the headliner,
Yeah,
Jesse.
yeah, for the amazing you know who it is. And then I have some shows coming up. Like probably the next big one I have is not for a couple of months. I'm recording a stand-up hour. This like towards the end of February.
Nice. Where are you doing that?
The Punchline.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. So looking forward to that. Just working material out, and just like I'm doing a lot with it as far as like production and editing. So I am like getting all that down.
How endless is that? Like just like editing. I don't enjoy it.
And I mean I watch like so much comedy, so like it's like second nature to me. But as far as like, oh, I want to make sure I can do everything I want to do, or how I want it to look, and just be like and I want it to be a cool show. I don't want it to just like be cool when you watch it, but as far as like the people, because sometimes it's like the show sucks when you're there, but then you go home and you're like, wait, this is a great show, but how come I wasn't at the how come it didn't come across that way? So it's like I'm trying to just make it cool for every the people that are there. I want to have something different, but also like I want to be able to make sure I get everything that I need.
Right on.
Yeah.
Cool. And you're on social medias at?
Yeah, so I have a website, chazhawkins.com.
Oh shit.
Also, the reason why I pause is because like on some things I am Chaz Hawkins, and then on other things I am real Chaz Hawkins. I'm always real Chaz Hawkins, but I didn't feel like changing all of them. So I think on Instagram I'm just Chaz Hawkins.
Which one do you use the most? Are you still using Twitter or X? What are we calling it?
No, I don't even use that.
I left that years ago.
Yeah, it like made me have to like log in again, and I'm like, I don't remember.
Was it a 2 exclamation point? Or
I'd rather take 4 blood tests than figure out what my login is to Twitter.
Awesome. Well, good luck with all of that,
Thanks,
man.
man.
Yeah.
Looking forward to yours too.
Yeah. I have. I'll be on that callback bar show with Johnny Taylor and Holly, and I'm here tomorrow doing the book report with Dana Bryant, and we have Maddie Smith and Radine Hallworth on that one. I'll also be on the Fox. I'm hosting the Fox and Goose show that Holly is on, and I'm also recording a special at Punchline in January. I'm not shooting for an hour though. I'm shooting for 40.
Yeah.
I'm shooting for 40 minutes, but I'm just gonna go. Like I know I have 30. I'm not hoping that I can stretch to 40. I think I could do 40, but and the same thing that you're saying is like I'm just hoping to like for it to be a good show and for it to be a fun night and for but yeah, I'm really looking forward to that. That's January 14th when I'm recording it at Punchline with Johnny Taylor's hosting. Lizzie Bowen is opening, and Danny Luna is featuring. So it'll be a good time.
I'll definitely be there.
All right. Appreciate that, man.
Yeah, of course, man.
All right, man. Well, that's our show. You guys get to keep these letters.
Yay.
I don't know what you want to do with them. Yeah, you keep them. I'll sign it for you if you want. Nicole will sign it too. We could all go take a blood test together. But we're here every third Saturday. Is that when we're here?
Yes, at 10 p.m.
Yeah, third Saturday is 10 p.m. Here we are. Thanks a lot, you guys, for coming out. That was our
Yay,
show.
Thank you.
Bye.
Alrighty, folks, that is it for us for the night. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for coming in. We have, as Jesse said, we've got the book report tomorrow at 7, followed by the open mic at 8:30. If you want to see everything that we're doing, check out stabcomedytheater.com for a full calendar of events. We're live in person Thursdays through Sundays, and we stream everything we do 6 nights a week. Hold on, online audience. Let's send you guys over to our good friend. Well, we like to think of him as a friend. Mr. Lobo, Send him insomnia. Hold on for the raid. We'll see you back here tomorrow at 7 for the book report.